So I'm doing something really exciting for me on my lunch hour. I am unboxing my DNA tests for Ancestry.com and 23andMe. Now, I know some people are like, why order both? But when I did my research, I found out they test slightly different things. They both are testing DNA, but they're coming up with different reports. And so I'm curious what they're going to say. So I am unboxing these so that I can see like what all is involved and the whole process. So it says before you spit, activate your kit online by phone or with our app first. So apparently I have more to do before I can actually do my little spit test. And let's see what, that was the Ancestry.com one. And so here's the, here's what it looks like, the spit test. There it is. And there's a little box provided so I can ship it back to them. So that's interesting. And then I have the 23andMe version. So I'm setting Ancestry off to the side. Now this one's in one of those super weird little slidey boxes. So as I'm opening it up, oh, okay, so here we go. It has a little, oh, they're a little friendlier. A little hi. Oh, and there's a whole little booklet here. Ooh la la. Okay, I like their marketing style better. I know that doesn't mean it's any scientifically better. This is the part that's going to be really hard for me. So I'm kind of excited about this, as you can see. So it looks like, oh, the okay, let's get started. I have to download an app in order to register for it and get started. So I have a little bit of work to do online first before I can spit in my tests. And then the 23andMe looks like here is the kit. And so there is that. And what I don't see in here, very nice. This is very convenient. What they've done is they've turned this whole inner box is my mailing package to send it back. So that's rather convenient. I'll just pack that in there when it's time to ship it off, and there we go. So anyway, that's my unboxing. That's what I'm going to be doing. So I guess I'll sign up for the apps and register my kits, and then I'll come back. Okay, so I have the Ancestry.com kit here, and I'm looking at the instructions here to do my sample. So spit in the tube, release, and shake. So I'm thinking this isn't that hard to do. I've already activated. It's spitting in a tube and releasing and shaking. This just seems kind of gross. So it says spit to here, and I'm like, that seems like a lot of spitting, but we'll see. I can't video that. That's just too gross. We have a sample. So the next step is to replace the funnel with the cap. So there's a little disassembly required. Oh, gross. And we put the cap on, and it says tighten to release. Oh, we screw on tightly to release the solution. Okay, that didn't work. Screw on tightly to release the solution. I'm not sure if I'm doing it right, but it's supposed to tighten to release the stabilizing fluid. Oh, there it did. It did it. So there it is in there. And then it says shake the tube for at least 5 seconds. Oh boy. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Okay, it's mixed with the spit, and place the tube in the collection bag and you mail it. So the collection bag is this thing. So we're going to place the tube in the collection bag, and is there anything that we need to know about that? It just says collection bag, and they show it going in the collection bag. Oh, that's sticky. That's got some sticky going on there. And so there's the collection bag. By sending in your sample, you're consenting to a whole bunch of stuff in very fine print and very hard to read, but that was all on the website as it is. So that looks like that's it. We close the little bag and seal it up. So there's the collection bag sealed. And then, oh shoot, you know what I didn't do? So I didn't write down my number. So I'm gonna have to get my little number and write it down in my record so that I can check on my thing in case they make a mistake and say I'm something that I'm like, wait, no. Well, luckily I was able to retrieve my code by seeing through the see-through bag and get the code off of my sample. So that's a good note if you're doing this, to make sure you write down your code on your little cheat sheet tracking card for yourself. So now I'm going to put this in the box. So I'm putting my collection sample in the box, and then hopefully it fits. And then it says to seal it inside there using the adhesive tape in there. So I'm pulling this adhesive tape off and I'm sealing my sample in the box. So now this one is postage paid and it's ready to go off to Ancestry.com. So now I'm going to take a look at 23andMe. Okay, now we're on to the 23andMe, and I have to say, I just think their marketing is cuter. So, so when I go through the instructions, I've already registered my kit, and they said no food or drink for 30 minutes. That actually slowed me down. I couldn't do it originally when I was in my other office because I had just had something to eat, and so I had to wait. So now I'm home, and I have not eaten for 30 minutes, so I can do that. So they're really clear about that. And let's see here. Okay, so their instructions are fill to the line with the spit, and once again, I can't videotape actually doing that, but this is their little device, which is different looking than the one from Ancestry. So it still has a fill to line, but this one has a little lid that I'm glad now that I read the instructions, I didn't practice turning the lid and clicking it in place and just fiddling with it, because that actually releases the liquid that goes in with the DNA sample. So anyway, good to know I hadn't played with it before I read the instructions, or I might have screwed that up. So I'm gonna go ahead and spit in the test tube. It looks like this one's easy to use as well. And then I'll pack it up and send it in too. I have yet another disgusting sample here. I do have to say that the 23andMe fill line is harder to see than the one in the Ancestry.com test tube. I had to really look at it to see. And it seems like I had to spit a lot more. Maybe I was just a little dried out from having done the Ancestry one earlier, but that took a long time. So it could also be that this one is testing for health conditions and maybe they need a bigger sample, but it felt like it took a lot more of a sample. So anyway, the instructions on this one are once you get to the fill line, and it's with the saliva, not the foamy spitty part, you close the lid, close the funnel lid, which is going to release, there's some pokey things in there that is going to release the whatever it is. They don't tell you what it is. It's a mystery. They just say don't drink it, like as if anybody would. And so they say close the funnel lid. Make sure the lid is closed tightly. They don't tell you to shake this one. That's very odd that they don't say to shake it, but whatever. I'm going to trust that they know what they're doing with that. So let's hope they're right. And everything's in there and it did what it's supposed to do. And then they kind of skip a step in here. They say close the funnel lid, and then they go right to this next step, which is screw on a cap, and they tell you to go ahead and take off the funnel lid, but they don't show you a picture, and they're pretty good about the other pictures. So I'm smart enough, I think I could figure out how that works. So I'm gonna unscrew it. Oh, now it's gonna be hard. There we go. So another disgusting part to discard. And then screw on the cap. So going to screw on the cap. Oh, now we shake. Oops, and I dropped the cap. That's not good. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, hopefully there's no rabbit hair in there, because that could provide some interesting DNA results as well. So maybe I was putting it on upside down. That could be why. Okay, so I put the cap on, screw it on tightly, and now I shake. Okay, let's see what that is. So it says shake for 5 seconds, just like the other one. Somebody copied somebody on this process. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. No leakage, thank goodness. And then we are to seal it in the bag. So it looks like there's good pictorial instructions on here. And so, ooh, and I almost forgot. Now see, I learned my lesson from this last one. I almost forgot to write this one down. But this time I'm getting smart. I'm going to write it on my original box before I send this tube off. I'm going to write down the little number that's on there so I can make sure I have results I can reference in case they screw up the sample. So I'm writing down my number. I've got that down now. So now I'm ready to put it in the bag. So here we go. Final step for 23andMe is I am putting it in the bag, which is a little harder to load than the other one, but at least it doesn't catch on the tube with the sticky the way the Ancestry.com one did. Okay, so it's gone in now, and then it's a mystery how we seal the bag. How do we do that? I am reading instructions. And do not remove the absorbent pad from the bag. Okay. Looks like this just peels off. There we go. And I assume we fold it sticky side down. So that looks like that would work. Maybe. Kind of, sort of. I think I have a sealed bag. So then after that, what does it say? Ship in the box. So return the sealed plastic bag to the original box. Peel the strips, seal the box. Okay, so we'll get rid of the plastic container because they don't want that back, or do they want it back? I don't know if they want it back. We're just gonna send I'm just gonna send the sample in like this and hope that that's the right thing to do, because they aren't very clear about that. So in it goes. That's that, and that is 23andMe. We have to put our little tabs in there, get them lined up, and then peel this off. This is a little tricky actually on the sealing of this box because it wants you to put the little tabs in there. So there we go. And they didn't ask me to write my name anywhere on it. They must just know it's me based on the number. And so sealing that in, there we go. And it is also no postage necessary. So I now have 2 boxes ready to go for both of my DNA tests. So we'll see what happens when I get them back. I'm kind of excited. I'm wondering what I'll find out. So cool.